Donald Trump's aggressive plan to slap a 300% tariff on Chinese-made electric vehicle chips is making headlines, but now, it might be on the verge of backfiring in a big way. Why? Because Canada, of all countries, may hold the cards that could bring the entire plan crashing down. In this video, I'm breaking down what's really going on behind the scenes, how it could impact the global chip supply, and what this means for the US economy, auto industry, and geopolitics. So, let's start with the basics. Trump's proposed 300% tariff is aimed at semiconductors and chips used in electric vehicles, particularly those coming from China. The goal, on the surface, is to protect American jobs, manufacturing, and national security. But here's where things start to unravel. While the US can raise tariffs, it doesn't control the full supply chain, and a huge part of that chain runs straight through Canada. Why Canada? Well, Canada plays a critical role in the North American chip and battery ecosystem. It holds some of the largest reserves of rare earth minerals, like lithium and cobalt materials essential for chip production and EV batteries. And it has strong trade agreements in place through CUSMA, the modern NAFTA agreement, which includes specific protections against arbitrary tariffs on North American goods. Here's the twist: some of the chips and components targeted by the 300% tariff pass through Canada in the production process, or are assembled using Canadian-sourced materials. That means enforcing the tariff without hitting Canadian partners is next to impossible. And Canada isn't taking this lightly. Ottawa has signaled it may retaliate through diplomatic channels or even challenge the move under trade dispute mechanisms. In short, if the US goes ahead with the 300% tariff without exemptions for Canadian-linked products, it could spark a trade dispute that derails the whole strategy. Now, here's where things get even more complicated. Major automakers, including American ones, have already raised concerns. Why? Because tariffs on chips, especially EV chips, don't just hurt China. They raise costs across the board. That includes chips used in Ford, GM, Tesla, and even Rivian vehicles, most of which rely on international suppliers. Higher tariffs mean higher production costs, which likely translate into higher prices for consumers or slimmed down profit margins for automakers already battling high inflation and supply chain delays. And it's not just about EVs. These chips are also used in smart systems, infotainment, safety features, and more. So even traditional gas-powered vehicles could see ripple effects. Meanwhile, Canada knows its leverage. With growing global demand for EVs and a booming mining sector for battery-critical minerals, it's emerging as a key player. And Ottawa has already struck deals with the EU, South Korea, and even Japan for critical minerals. If relations with the US sour, Canada may prioritize those partners, weakening North America's collective strength in the global tech race. Here's what it all boils down to: Trump's 300% tariff plan is more than just a headline. It's a complex, high-stakes move that could reshape trade dynamics, spike consumer prices, and strain US-Canada relations, all while China quietly redirects its exports elsewhere. And with the 2024 US election over and a possible Trump second term looming, how this plays out in the coming months could set the tone for the entire North American economy. So, is this a bold move to reclaim manufacturing power, or a strategic misfire that hands leverage to our closest ally? If you're watching from the US, Canada, or anywhere impacted by EV production or chip imports, this is a story worth following closely. The next few weeks could determine whether this tariff strategy holds or collapses under the weight of its own economic pressure. /